Welcome back. Today we're gonna make some progress. Barely any really, not nearly what I wanted to have done. But I got distracted by a few things. I wanted to finish up the healing axe, get into, what would it be, medium voltage? But I'm still down in low voltage, and everything you do get done never feels quite nearly enough. This first little walk up and base showcase is what I'm up to today, and everything later on is how I got up to this point. The tower is starting to come together. I'm liking the way it looks. I'm a fan. I need to put down some planks up here, but it's coming along. I also can't wait for some form of vertical travel, because these stairs, I'm starting to get sick of them a little bit. There's no other option for me right now. In the quest book, I see elevators, but I don't think I have the materials for them yet. Maybe after our little journey today, I will have what I need. To start off, I planned a few rows of the crops we're going to need to make the recipes for the healing axe. There's a few different meals that you have to get together. They're not the easiest recipes at all, and the LV machines do make them a little bit easier, but it's not something you just get done within a day. Some of the crops I had to plant were soybeans, tomatoes, lettuce, spinach, onions, pepper, some coconut and apple trees, but I had hit a point where I realized there would be some crops that would be harder to acquire, such as rice, maple trees I didn't have access to yet, and I would need more water gardens if I had any hope of getting the rice that I needed and then planting the rice. So once I got this done, I found some ways to distract myself. As ores were processing and crops were growing, I started to lay out more of the base with cobble and dirt. Long term and way longer term, I want this to be 4 smaller towers surrounding one large tower, but I also want it to kind of evolve naturally, so I'm not stuck within the frame of one building, which is something I'm feeling now, pretty heavily. My steam tank does not feel at all. I also like that initial placement of the nether portal, of it in the tower, in the far smaller tower, and I think I'm gonna keep doing that, get the each dimension portal into the basements of the smaller towers. Something I decided on before even moving from the village to this base was making a max volume steam tank. It seemed not so hard at the time, but I had no idea the ridiculous amount of iron I would need to achieve that. After I had it set up in a half-decent way, I moved deeper into the quest book and deeper into LB, getting what feels like must be almost every machine, although it definitely was not. I still have no idea what a proper setup of these machines should look like, might look like. I'm still running on 1 turbine even though I have 4 crafted. And I just placed these wherever I could on the wire just to have access to them and the new recipes they gave. And as always, with that came some fireworks. The smaller sub-requirement I have for myself, which really isn't that impressive compared to what I've seen others do, is move to at least one new dimension for each in-game year. So as the second year gave me the Nether, the third will give me the Twilight Forest. From what I've read and seen, there's a lot more combat possible here, which is saying something considering the amount of times I've died in the Nether. And I should prepare way more carefully for it, especially if I want to do some of the boss fights that are possible. In that little mining trip, I was gathering quartz to make some of the kitchen blocks for what I hope to be a kitchen room, but the quest book would give me a funny surprise. What the fuck is that thing? What is that thing? Oh my god. Oh my god. Small stroke had. I moved on to making even more machines and distracting myself with some building. There was a lot that I was procrastinating on, but it did feel like I got a good amount done. And the bones of the base are almost complete at this point. Another thing I found to distract myself, with the justification I needed the slime for glue to make circuits, was this slime island just to the north of my base. As I climbed to the top, the King Slime health bar appeared, and I knew there wasn't really a way out. All I could hope for was to not be knocked off of the island, and that my sword would do enough damage. Which it did, and then I realized there was more than one King Slime up here. Realizing they were pretty well trapped in that slime tree, I felt safe. A bit unjustifiably, seeing the aura of an infernal mob. Looking back, I think without the extra health, and if I hadn't stopped to eat that sandwich to really take my time getting closer to them, I would have died up there. I ended up stripping most of the island for slime dirt and the slime trees, and would come back later for the liquefied slime and anything left up here. Stupid side quest complete. I processed down some of the slime balls into glue, and then used that glue to batch craft some resistors. I was running out of time in the year to get to the Twilight Forest. Doubting my choices, double and triple checking I had everything I would and could want on me, I knew it was time. Year 2, day 356, I was in the forest. As you heard, even jumping in felt like a mistake, but I felt like and still feel like I would stagnate if I didn't force myself into new areas. I set a waypoint for my portal and started looking for and then mining silver. I could then use the silver to make high pressure solar boilers, and a little bonus of lead to make into potting pipes. The rain sounds were nice, and I would have to get used to it, as it felt like it was always raining here. It took me a few tries, but I'd found silver in one of these mine shafts I was digging, and panicking that I had made almost no progress towards my kitchen and the healing axe. As soon as I got back to base, I crafted up wood blocks I could for it. That brings us to where I'm at now, and hopefully next video you get from me is with a healing axe in hand. I am happy with the progress that I made this week, and speaking of, I am going to try to keep this a weekly update series. I'm going to keep it going as long as I can, and it's been pretty fun to put them together, honestly. Thanks for watching. See you soon.